for? Good, and by a round of applause, how many of you are visiting Shedd Aquarium for the very first time today? Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming again today, and welcome to Shedd Aquarium. Now, on the way to the amphitheater today, we randomly selected one lucky audience member to participate in today's show, and at this time, I'd like to ask this very special guest to join me here on the walkway. Let's meet our special guest. What is your name, sir? Where are you from?
I'm Dakota from California.
Fans in the audience. So later on in today's show, Dakota will have an opportunity to meet a beluga whale. So I hope you're glad you came to Shedd today. Good, glad to hear it. So I'm going to ask you to take your seat once again on his way back to his seat. Let's have one more big round of applause for Dakota from California. Now folks, in just a few short moments, our aquatic show will begin. But before we get started, I have a couple of small requests for everyone. First, this walkway that I am standing on is now closed. Some of the animals from today's show could be joining us right here on this very walkway. So to keep both you and the animals safe, we ask that everyone remain seated. If for some reason you do need to leave during the show, please find the closest staircase and exit up. I have one final question before we start, this time by a show of hands. How many of you out there brought cameras today and plan on taking pictures during the show? Fantastic. We encourage you to take all the pictures you like, but if you could take a moment right now to turn off your flash. This will ensure that the animals and the trainers stay safe during the show. And if you can make sure you keep your flashes turned off throughout your visit to Shedd Aquarium, we would be very grateful. Thank you so much for all of your help. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please enjoy Shedd Aquarium's aquatic show.
Oh, nice.
I love it. Yeah,
Great,
sure.
great.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, girls, boys. My name is Nick. I'm your host for today's show. Now, today you are all about to get a very special behind-the-scenes look to see how we build strong relationships with the animals in our care. You will also see firsthand how we train and how the animals' participation contributes to their health care and their well-being. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our training team? Trainers joining us today. First, over here on the left-hand side, my friend Tracy. How you doing, Tracy? We have Eric joining us in the center. And let's not forget my friend Kurt over here on the far right-hand side. When we're ready, we're going to blow the whistles. That tells our beluga whales, thank you for joining us. Then we drop these shapes in the water. The shapes work as name tags or IDs. This is how our beluga whales will know what trainer they're working with. Speaking of training, let's take a look at how the process begins. To do so, please direct your attention straight ahead to Eric, who is working with our 3-year-old Nunavik. And before we can begin training, well, we have to establish a strong relationship. So you see ways we can develop that. A hug is always a great thing. Restaurant quality squid, Caitlin and Harry, that's something he enjoys. You can see him playing with that food right now. They like to play with the food and go back and forth on the tub. And he plays with it some more. You can see Eric is kind of having fun and then saying, you know what, Nunavik, probably on your side, I'll give you a little bit of tickles. All this makes Nunavik want to come out here to play with us. Next, we're going to teach him an important sound, the whistle. Each time we blow the whistle, that means good job. It means thank you to these animals. But how does a 3-year-old like Nunavik know that? Listen and watch. Whistle, followed by clapping, he likes that. Another whistle, this time fish follows it, of course he likes that. And a whistle and a little tickle right on top of his melon there. definitely enjoys that. By finding the whistle was something he enjoys, he puts it together. Yeah, this whistle does mean good job. Now, Eric is going to play a simple game called the target game. The object of the target game is for Nudnik to touch his head to a shape or a target. The target is Eric's hand first. See how he plays this game? He plays it in this order. It's always a touch of the hand of the target, then a blow of the whistle, then a reward. Fish. Here comes another one. Touch. Whistle. Reward. Now, tongue tickling. He doesn't like that. Now he's enjoying having his head being touched. But what would happen if we changed the rules of the game a bit? Instead of bringing the hand down to Nudnik, leaving that hand or target way above his head. What happens? Something like this. You notice that? Nudnik just made a big leap in logic. This 3-year-old figures out, oh, I come to the target now? Yeah, I know that, absolutely. And look how we'll vary it up to the side. Sure, not a problem at all for him. Doesn't even have your hand to see Eric move to that buoy, extending his reach. But we're going to challenge this 3-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ask this little 3-year-old to find the target once again, but watch the difference this time. All right, Eric, let's show him. Find the target. Where is it? Way over there on the right-hand side. A new location and a new trainer. Mike's joining us over there. Can't Nudnik figure out where to go? Yeah, he's got this game down. Does a great job by his part of ease. More food, more tongue tickles for him. And just enjoying this quite a bit. We're going to ask him to head back on over. Now, I should say, these Arctic, subarctic whales, they have excellent hearing. So, slapping on the water can indicate him to head on back so he can find the target, get some tongue tickles, and a big round of applause from all of us here at Shedd Aquarium. This simple head-touching game is a great way to ask the animals to move to different locations throughout the habitat. Now, I just talked a little bit about how we train the animals. Well, I want to focus now on why we train the animals here at Shedd. Our ultimate goal is to provide exceptional care to all animals they call Shedd home. As a matter of fact, we want to turn medical checkups into games. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's start over here on the far right-hand side, where Kurt is working with our 5-year-old beluga male named Miki. Notice how we have Miki on his side? Well, just doing that feels pretty good to Miki. He gets tickles, it's like a massage, he's enjoying it. But that position is called the ultrasound position. And we simulate a little touch like the ultrasound would feel. Of course, to him, he just gets splashes of water and a little massage. Or, look who's joining us here on the far left-hand side. Dakota's coming here. Now, he is going to play a role for us. Whenever we have a guest out, they become a veterinarian. Now, that might sound a little odd. How did they become a veterinarian? Well, you already know a little about the touching there. What he's doing is helping us do a skin examination. For this particular beluga, this is a chance for this 13-year-old female to just get a little extra attention from someone else. Now, what we are examining, literally not the skin, but the ridge on her back. Remember how I said they're Arctic, subarctic animals? Well, that ridge on the back, instead of having a fin like a dolphin would have, would be used to break through ice. They can know to break through is pretty thick ice, 4 to 6 inches thick out in the wild. It's pretty impressive. Now, after we do something like that, we then want to vary it up. So remember, I said we want to make this fun. We want to make these animals comfortable with seeing different and new faces out here. And that's exactly where Dakota's coming in to make this more of a fun game. Now, first, got to give a whole bunch of fish, thanking Kayabot for doing a great job, and then we can follow it with that target game. Look at that. Kayabot comes right up. So you can tell the trust is now there. She's willing to play these fun games and doing a fantastic job doing it. Matter of fact, I think she's going to say thank you to Dakota. Listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your help. And a little wave goodbye at the top. This kind of work here keeps the animals at Shedd healthy as well as happy. Now, because of this really strong relationship we have with the animals in our care, we can also foster their sense of play. So what I'm talking about, let's go back here to the far right-hand side, where Miki is going to be showing you a behavior called tail slapping. Now, tail slapping is a behavior they can use to communicate. First, let me show you what the behavior looks like. He's going to roll his body over to the side. There we go, not to the side. There he is, going forward, and slap his tail. Now, this slow tail slapping might seem really simple, but out in the wild, it's a great way for that noise to travel underwater. They can literally communicate that way with each other. And also sometimes it's fun. Now, however, when we are working these behaviors with the animals, not only do we like to show you their natural behaviors, but also training them to do it in very specific ways provides a mental stimulus for them. Now, watch Kurt. He's going to ask Mickey to do that behavior to slap the tail. But now we're asking him to do it a very specific way. Can he keep going straight and not going to turn to the left or the right? Now, he's doing a really good job. So he has to stay focused on one point, staying straight. Ladies and gentlemen, for any 5-year-old named Beluga or human, that can be very hard focusing to do. Doing a great job staying there, staying right on target. So Kurt feels pretty confident. You can see he's clapping for him. So he knows he's doing a great job. Now we're going to ask him to do it again. There's that target saying, I want you to go right here. You can see he sees the target. Now, will he stay in a straight line? Yeah, look at that. He actually goes a little bit further out. Just maintaining that. Now, Kurt's feeling pretty confident. He's going to ask his behavior one more time, it looks like. So he says, all right, here's a bunch of that nice Caitlin and herring for you. We're going to see if we can get one more to see if we can remember it. There he goes. He slapped the water. He sees it. And now we have a perfect view of him going across. We've just made a slight adjustment for ourselves here. And look at that. He keeps going even further out that time. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. Around the block. And it is a wonderful way to show you how we build that relationship while providing mental and physical stimulus for them. Now, before our belugas say bye for this portion of the show, I think they'd like to say bye in their own special way. So let's start here on the left-hand side. We're going to have Kaibach here showing you that same behavior. Now take a look at that. Now you can see a little bit older beluga, and you can definitely hear that slapping sound above water. Or we're going to show you how a little 3-year-old can really communicate by making a splash. And what's it look like for them? Something called a breach. Take a look here in the center. Big old splash down. And how about Miki here, speaking of coming to the center, as he also splashes down. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause? Now, before we invite another animal to join us right out here in the habitat, we would like to first introduce all of you to a newer member of the Shedd family.
Back now at 7:48 with a really touching rescue story. An infant sea otter was found stranded in California last month. She was saved and was quickly taken to Chicago's Shedd Aquarium, and that's where NBC's Kevin Tibbles picks things up.
Welcome to a nursery unlike any other, where it's time for this baby to have a mom.
It's me, Uncle Kevin.
Cayucos is a 10-week-old, 13-pound bouncing baby southern sea otter. The orphan pup was found on a California beach last month.
You know, those first few days that you lost your mom were probably very scary times.
The southern or California sea otter is a threatened species, with fewer than 3,000 animals left in the wild. But luckily for Cayucos, she was rescued and brought to Chicago's Shedd Aquarium, one of the top marine mammal facilities in the world. And she seems to be adjusting just fine.
She is a baby. They like to play, they like to explore, they like to get into mischief.
But baby otters, like baby humans, also need round-the-clock care. So the Shedd has a dozen surrogate moms to feed her and to begin to teach her how to be an otter. The Shedd first started caring for otters in 1989 in the wake of the Exxon Valdez disaster. That's when Kenai was rescued. She's now the matriarch.
She's 23 now, and she's got a nice retired life right now.
But before Cayucos can hang with the grown-ups, she's got a lot to learn.
There's 2 otters!
Want some more?
Like eating solid food while floating on her back.
I've heard that.
But watch out, those teeth are sharp. She also has to learn how to groom, and otter's thick coat has to be maintained for their very survival. And like most kids, when she doesn't get her way, she lets you know. Payutos is the 9th pup raised here, and while she'll never be returned to the wild, she will teach scientists more about her species. And soon be delighting visitors, because like most babies, she's irresistibly cute. Kevin Tibbles, ABC News, Chicago.
One of our goals for these aquatic shows is to introduce all of you to different animals, and in just a moment, you're gonna all meet a red-tailed hawk by the name of Tahoma. Now today, we're working on flight training. Of course, you'd have to teach a bird how to fly. They do that pretty well on their own. However, we're going to be asking Tahoma to fly on cue and to a specific location. You can see Gretchen joining us out there, bringing that stump out there. Now, before Tahoma complete comes out here, just a reminder, one, make sure everyone is remain seated, and just double and triple check to make sure that your flashes and lights are turned off on your cameras and cell phones. We want to set this amazing bird prey up for success. All right, looks like we're just about set now, so I'm going to take a step back, and let's watch some flight training in action. Ladies and gentlemen, Tahoma. Let's hear it for Tahoma. There might have similarities to how we just worked with our belugas, that whistle being blown for one thing, saying thank you for flying on over. Now, here at Shedd Aquarium, we're home with more than one red-tailed hawk. Like here, right over there, the right-hand side, another one's getting ready to come on out. His name is Echo. It's a male red-tailed hawk. Now, his flight is going to be a little bit different. It's the same location ultimately, but it's going to be a different place to land on. We're going to remove that stump and bring out a perch. Now, if you're wondering what's the difference, well, a lot of birds of prey come to zoos and aquariums because they were rescued. And who just saw fly Tahoma was no exception to that rule. At a very young age, Tahoma lost the use of one of her eyes, so she's unable to hunt the wild again. So she found a home here. However, with Echo, well, he can see pretty well out of both of his eyes. He's a little bit of a different story, but since he has used both his eyes, he can get a smaller area to land on. There's that great perch. By the way, another similarity you're going to find is the reward we give the animals. I don't want to tell you the reward quite yet, because I think you'll get very jealous if I tell you immediately, so we're going to wait on that in just a moment. But we're not going to have to wait longer for this flight. Looks like we are ready for this one. So I'll take another step back, and let's watch some more flight training in action. Echo.
I don't want to.
There we go. Let's hear it for Echo.
Yeah, I know.
I definitely want to take a moment to look around at everyone. They have binocular vision, so you want to feel pretty comfortable before you flew. Of course, he soared across the habitat. Oh, and if you were wondering, that treat I have to tell you, they get, as they fly over their land, a nice chopped up, juicy bit of mouse. Okay, yeah, that's not something you and I would find a damn thing, right? But to a red-tailed hawk like that, oh, that's a delicacy, providing some great positive reinforcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit more time to spend with all of you this morning. So by a round of applause, who wants to meet our Pacific white-sided dolphins? below. The shapes being dropped in the water as our 4 dolphins race around looking for their particular shape. We have 1, we got 2, we got 3, and finally 4. Now, because of this strong relationship, we can also train these animals by doing something you have all been doing so far, watching them play. These are pretty cool things. Let's start here with Cottrell on the left-hand side. We're going to have Cottrell doing that tail lobbing we showed earlier, but watch how the dolphins do it. Upside down, slapping their tails, posting right side up. A little bit different in this case. Or in the center, well, the cat's going to show you, or excuse me, he's going to show you how they swim quickly upside down. Let's look at TK over here, spinning around in circles. That's kind of a fun little behavior of the spinning. Now each time we see a behavior from TK or Cat or Cottrell, we blow that whistle. Remember, that whistle means good job. By telling these animals we like what we are seeing, they're more than likely going to repeat that behavior again. Once they start to repeat a specific behavior, the next step is adding a hand movement or a hand signal to go along with particular behavior. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go over here on the left-hand side. As Cottrell, who's waving hi to everyone, is going to leap up out of the water for us. I want you to watch for the particular hand signal Joe gives, and then listen for the whistle, because timing is important. All right, Joe, we're ready when you are. Here it comes. There's that hand signal. She builds up speed, heads for the center, and again.
Right.
Nice work. Now, Joe blew the whistle at a particular time, the highest point of this dolphin's jump. That told Cottrell, yeah, height is what we were looking for. Now, if we would blow the whistle another time, that would, of course, tell this dolphin something else. If you would blow the whistle before Cottrell would hit the water, let's say right here, that would tell Cottrell it's okay to splash our audience right here in front of me. Want to take a look at that? Yeah, absolutely. No, we're not. It's 58 degree water. I got to do that to you this morning. But we are going to change it up. I couldn't resist. When we blow the whistle, though. So let's watch this behavior again. Here comes that hand signal. Yeah, she sees it. She knows what it means. Heads towards center. We get one jump, but no whistle. So she jumps again. Still no whistle. How about shot number 3? I heard the whistle, and so did she. She comes racing right on back. Great job, Cottrell. So now you see how the communication process works with these animals as well. Now, during the show, I just talked a lot about how and why we train the animals here at Shedd Aquarium. What I'd like to do for you is put all this training together, highlight these animals' natural, amazing behavior. So for this next part, I have to say another word. I'm going to take another step back, and I'm going to turn things over to our very own Pacific white-sided dolphins.
That's cool.
Watch shows over. Text in the amphitheater, you have two options. For our jellies exhibit, why are reefing sharks? Or even the 4D movie theater, simply head on up the stairs. To visit the polar play zones in these areas of underwater viewing, head on down towards me and off to your left. Thank you once again. Have a great day, Shedd Aquarium.